Today on the Topping Show, the media claims that Trump was never shot. Kamala Harris' track record of being the most liberal senator is attempted to be erased. Liberty Bell and national landmarks are vandalized by Hamas supporters. Kamala Communism continues to trend as her old equity speeches continue to resurface. Canadian professor tweets hope that the Secret Service will fail to protect Trump again. Ford stock continues to fall after bad QT results. Conn files for bankruptcy. And CrowdStrike gives $10 Uber Eats gift cards as an apology for one of the largest IT outages of all time. All of that and much more on The Topping Show. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of The Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. I say he's quite handsome and brilliant. Tease me, you see, that's a joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner, you can reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, still giving away a free 50 caliber musket or flintlock pistol with every IT purchase in July to celebrate the 4th of July. Go to toppingtechnologies.com to learn more. Lastly, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you could click that button and tell your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, going over to the Business Pub podcast, you have Ford. Well, their stock last week crashed worse than almost since 2009, where if you wind back the clock a couple years, that was during one of the greatest recessions or depressions of all time. And that's when every American automotive company went bankrupt except Ford, barely making it. And I think their stock actually went down around $2 per share, which is detrimentally low to say the least. Now, we'll go ahead and take a quick examination of their stock price before we go to the actual article here. And look at the 5-year trend. 5-year trend is actually pretty good. It's up 40.17%. Past 1 year, though, only up by one. It actually is down by 1.97%. Year to date, a little better than usual, up 10.73%. Month, 11.77%. But let's go to the closer and examine, then zoom in. And you see, oh yeah, it's down 5% for that. And now it's 17%. So again, currently trading for $11.31 per share. Granted, by the time this video is uploaded and rendered, it'll be a little bit different. And this episode is a little bit late, so I apologize for that. But this has come to us thanks to CNBC. They say, quote, Ford prices on pace for the worst day since 2009. Lead autos rout after company's disappointing earnings. There you can see one of the little Ford Broncos in the picture there, which is, I think, the only SUV in America you can get with a stick shift, as all cars should be by default, of course. Now they say, quote, this is a very tough industry and a very tough period, and everyone has to fight for performance. We have to work hard to deliver that performance. Ford executives also made similar comments when it reaffirmed its 2024 guidance, despite it having a whopping 21 cents below adjusted earnings per share expectations. The automaker reported additional, this is insane, $800 million in unexpected warranty costs compared to the prior quarter. For the quarter, $800 million just vanished. Because again, when customer car or SUV breaks down, the cost comes from somewhere. The consumer doesn't pay for it. The dealerships, well, they actually aren't too happy because they get paid less per hour to do warranty work than the standard service work or upsell work or maintenance work. That's why they do it, but they're not exactly happy about it either. And the shareholders aren't too happy because, again, it's taking money out of the company's profits. So it's really bad all around to make unreliable, poor performing vehicles. One would think they'd, start to fix that throughout the years. Debatable how much they have. Now, however, they did note that Morgan Stanley's Adam Jones kept Ford firm as the firm's top pick, while downgraded General Motors from overweight to equal weight, despite the Detroit automaker's standout quarter for GM. So not great news for Ford, and they were the only one that survived the 09 recession. GM went bankrupt historically for the third time, and Stellantis, at the time it was Chrysler, went bankrupt so bad they sold off to Fiat, which then became Stellantis. So now you can debate if it's an American-based company or not. So not great news for Ford Motor Company. Again, not financial advice. It is certainly not good for their stock to continue to drop so bad. But will things get better for Ford? Keep in mind, you have unprecedented economical and political uncertainty. Anecdotally speaking, I don't know anyone in my circle of friends is going out and buying a vehicle. We also have record high interest rates for vehicles as well. That's not the situation. So it'll be interesting to see what happens to Ford Motor Company, but not great news for this stock to continue to precipitously crash. Other interesting business news, you have Conn filing for bankruptcy to close up to 70 stores. This was brought to us thanks to Fox Business, which, interestingly enough, Fox Business is still a thing. I'm pretty sure I account for 75% of their network traffic. I'm only partially kidding. This is Allison Murphy, is a writer over there. They say, quote, home goods retailer Conn's files for bankruptcy to close up to 70 stores. I'll make sure I mute their video because they have that obnoxious video that starts every couple seconds, and yeah, their music is rudimentary to say the least. Now, scrolling down the actual substance of the article there, they say, quote, oh, it's sad. Home goods furniture retailer Conn's Inc. filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection, announcing plans to close several locations. The company said more than 70 of its Home Plus stores in 13 states will shutter. This is sad. So, we'll do a quick breakdown. So, one store will close in Alabama, 7 will close in Arizona, 6 will close in Colorado, 18 will close in Florida, 2 will close in Georgia, 6 in Louisiana, 2 in Mississippi, 4 in North Carolina, 4 in Oklahoma, 3 in South Carolina, 4 in Tennessee, 9 in Texas, or some people properly pronounce it, Texas. Although I feel I'm a little remiss, I should have had my Texas hat on. Nevertheless, they've also closed 5 in Virginia. They say that in the Chapter 11 filing for Conn's Inc., it's estimated a range of $1 billion to $10 billion for its assets. However, estimated liabilities were about the same. So that's not great. They also say the filing indicated Conn's Inc. and several other entities affiliated with the company that also filed for bankruptcy want their cases to be jointly administered. One of these was W.S. Babbitt LLC, a furniture company it has owned since December. Which they also said in April, Conn said its total annual revenue dropped 7.8% year over year, totaling $1.2 billion. The company also posted a net loss of $76.89 million for the year. They also note that the company operated 170 Conn's Home Plus stores and nearly 360 Babbitt locations at the end of February. Which, yeah, it's not good news, and unfortunately retail is getting more and more difficult, especially, well, let's be honest, there's nothing in here you need. I mean, most of these things are luxury items. No one needs new furniture. You can always make your own or just tough it out. And, I mean, I've said it once, I said it again. You got unprecedented economical and political uncertainty. You got rough inflation. Most people are just struggling just to pay their groceries because those have become so ridiculously inflated. Stores like this, I think, are going to struggle, especially these days, especially this calendar year, as a lot of businesses, a lot of industries are really pausing most of their initiatives. A lot of them are cutting their spend, and you're just having that multiplier ripple effect more and more. Now, hopefully, if there are any employees who are permanently let go, they're able to find gainful employment at one of the competitors of Conn's, and hopefully they're not out of a job for too long. But it's a little bit more sad news for the business part of the podcast today, and hopefully everyone is able to find some new roles soon at a different competitor. Let me know in the comments section. I'm, again, anecdotally speaking, I'm a terrible barometer for the economy. I mean, shoot, when it comes to furniture, I just make my own. Good old 150-year-old antique barnwood siding and epoxy and some, well, I can't see it in here, but U.S. silver coins back when our money was worth something, little cool knots to the table. So I'm definitely not a good barometer in that regard. I just usually make what I need and, make stuff last for decades, like the suit. I think it's about a decade old, but buy once, cry once, some might say. So let me know, when was the last time you actually saw a Conn's Home Plus? Have you ever went there? And if you did, what was the most popular category or product that you did purchase when you went inside? Let me know in the comments. As always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Now, going over to the culture part of the podcast, you have the Liberty Bell vandalized by Hamas supporters. The U.S. continues to fall in cultural decay. Now, when you wind back the clock, oh shoot, even a couple of years ago, this would be out of the question. This is a historical American landmark. Yeah, they just put it all graffitied all over it, sprayed it with, put spray paint everywhere. I mean, how anemic is the Capitol Police? I mean, how anemic is the U.S. military and all the entities there to not stop this? It's not like this is, what is that, silly cartoon or thing. It's not like it's like the Flash from the cartoon, the guy that can run really fast, going around and spray painting these things. These are regular, usually out of shape people who are just destroying landmarks. Now, this was first noticed on End Wokeness on the good old X Twitter, which he says, quote, Democrat Party base, this is who they are. And you can see, I'll pull the pictures here. Disgusting. So again, how is this national landmark? And you're just tuning in audio-wise, looking at the Liberty Bell right now. Definitely take time to tune in. I dare not say the big green competitor, but I'm excited to say I'm probably growing that channel. Apparently, if you say it, kind of like the old movie where you say the word 3 times in the mirror, the bad guy will jump out. Apparently, if you say it, the YouTube will censor you even more, which I wouldn't think is a thing. Let's just say I'm playing baseball, and unfortunately, I've gotten some penalties. Now, nevertheless, they're seeing the Liberty Bell. It has spray paint, and of course, it's rudimentary, terrible handwriting. You're saying something because my handwriting is terrible. Getting worse than that. It says stop genocide or stop funding genocide. Something about Palestine. It says Gaza a couple times. Eloquent. They say F Israel. How creative. Ha, that is sarcasm. Scrolling to other pictures. Spray paint all over that. I mean, who is selling kitchen towels? They're making a killing in sales this year. I swear, I've seen that kitchen towel at Walmart a couple times walking past that aisle. Scrolling down. Yeah, disgusting. Yeah, whoever's selling kitchen towels and spray paint, they are doing, those sales departments are doing great this year. And much more saying, again, terrible handwriting. It says Hamas is what? It's terrible. It says Hamas is coming? I mean, I would guess they're already here based on all the things we're seeing here. What the heck is it? Oh yeah, of course they have a rudimentary what is it, an air horn? There you can see a close up of the bell. Oh, every side, and they put stickers on it too. Of course, many Palestinian flags. No American flags, of course. They put the Palestinian flag over one of the statues as well. I mean, granted, it's a stone statue, so it'd take a modicum of effort to pull it down. I'm surprised they didn't pull it down already or destroy that. This is pathetic. And of course, not a single suit in the crowd there. All wearing kitchen towels and what is it, a t-shirt, little shorts. No class at all, obviously. And this went pretty darn viral. Got 919,000 views and 17,000 likes. And again, it is so pathetic we allow this to happen. One of the first comments comes from Paul Zupa saying, quote, "This is disgraceful," getting 49 likes. Old School Eddie says, "The enemy of our nation," getting 133 likes. Wall Street Apes says, "This all stops when we stop funding it, end all foreign funding, and watch how quickly these wars end. There'll no longer be any money to funnel these NGOs to pay for fake support for wars on both sides." Getting 436 likes. Joshua Walker says, "Americans should remember this come election day. Vote like your life depends on it." Getting 646 likes. Valentina Gomez says, "Arrest every terrorist in this video," getting 346 likes. Dyslexia, the silent, mild irritant. It gets me every time, probably. This IO says, "The majority of the people within the main components of the Democratic base, blacks, Hispanic, and women, do not support vandalization of public monuments," getting 331 likes. Well, I mean, after the summer of love with the George Floyd riots, I mean, I don't know about that. Oh, damn it. Sorry, little warning there. There's some graphic content. I'm trying to scroll past this, so don't see it too much. Some people are hurt physically, you see them bleeding. Patriot Pointman says, "Tired of protesters and the BS," and especially the American Eagle saying, "Raise your wings if you're tired of this BS," getting 78 likes. Global Statistics said, "Why are they allowed? Where are the police?" getting 46 likes. Great question. It also shows how much our politicians hate the U.S. history and hate the U.S. And if they had any respect for our country's history, or even just perception, I mean, this makes the U.S. look so weak and pathetic. You can't guard your national monuments. You can't protect your own history. Well, I mean, we can't even protect our own former president. Although I'm not sure if that's because they're inept, lazy, or corrupt. Or maybe look column A, look column B. Clay Thompson also says, "The party of compassion and equity." Yeah, okay, getting 39 likes. See here. 30 Pill Meme says, "Make this make sense." It's the NPR guy or the non-program, what is it, NPC guy? He's smiling and looks at the Palestinian flag, which I don't want to say a child could have designed it, but well, it looks like something you can do in crayon. It's pretty rudimentary. And it says, he's smiling because it says it's a symbol of a country fighting against tyranny. Then a picture of the U.S. historic flag with the tree on it. It says, "No, this is a symbol of insurrection," getting 54 likes. Let's see. Oh, perfect juxtaposition of two situations. 30 Pill Memes also says, "Know the difference." And you have the Free Palestine being sprayed on national landmarks. It says free speech. You have someone who did a burnout over the Pride mural crosswalks. That says hate crime, getting 95 likes. Which again shows our government priorities, what they care about, what they hate, and what they love. So it's pretty pathetic that the U.S. has become so, I mean, just hating their own history this much. Again, where's a single police officer stopping this? And it's surprising there's not more Americans who are upset about this. And they should be irate that they're destroying our landmarks. Yeah, this is also a cultural, it's also a political issue. Which I don't think it should be. I think every American should say this is disgusting. Because again, they're crossing that line from, peaceful Hobby Lobby poster boards and speech to actually spray painting national historic monuments and burning American flags. So it's sad to see the cultural decay continue in the United States. Looks like in this video, there's one police officer. Did they finally do something? So this is from IO area saying pepper spray deployed as police make some arrests outside Union Station, DC. About 53 seconds. Here. They do something. Police did show up. Greatly outnumbered by these what's the nice way of saying this? Terrorists? Yeah, these police are in a tough spot. They're braver than most. They are 3 gentlemen suited up in riot gear. They are all back to back to back. And surround them are all these people in t-shirts. Weak. I'm only partially jesting. Partially. Like one guy has the patience of a saint, and one girl is right up in front of his face with the smartphone yelling at him bombastically. Very. What are you doing? There we go, use some paper spray. I don't know about that. I'm surprised they're actually doing anything. It looks like they are actually making an arrest. There's some guy in... Yeah, this guy... Again, I mean, we could all hit the gym more, but... Little scrawny looking guy... You may not know it, but under this suit, I'm actually totally ripped. I'm only partially adjusting. You work out. But nevertheless, he's wearing a cutoff, what is it, the wild wife beater design. Black jeans, black tank top, white beater. And some sneakers. So they're carrying him away. So it looks like they're arresting him. Again, where are they buying all these kitchen towels? They're everywhere. Like, they gotta be sold out at all these Walmarts. And yet the police still allowed all the vandalization to happen. I mean, the second someone took out a spray paint can, like the second a spray paint can was shown, there should have been police there in a second. And the second paint started to emit from the nozzle of the spray can, they should be spraying that person with copious amounts of mace, to say the least. Again, this continues to happen because the government allows it to happen. Now, it might be a depressing thought or controversial statement. Are they allowing it to happen, or are they hoping it would happen? Is it ignorance, or is it corruption? Another fascinating question for another time, perhaps. But actually, let me know in the comments. Do you think, I mean, is it just because politicians hate American history, they don't want to stand up for anything? Or is it because they actually agree with all these terrorists? Let me know in the comments. As always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Other interesting cultural news, you have a Canadian professor tweeting that he hopes for the Trump Secret Service to fail yet again. And I guess we shouldn't be too surprised because it's coming from the communism place of Canada, which is led by Justin Trudeau. Let's look all too similar from those communist bastards in Cuba, the Castros, which my family actually took a plane to escape from when they took over. And yeah, very similar policies. They don't want you to have guns. They don't want you to have freedom. They took guns away. They locked you down. Yeah, Canada's a terrible place. People just think it's nice because they appear to be nice to your face. But really, very tyrannical. But going to the actual substance of the story, which lives at TikTok. She says, quote, "This is professor at UT Ottawa." Yeah, good luck pronouncing that, I say. But I'll try. Universidad de Ottawa. Universidad de Ottawa. I think I need to sound more arrogant or more narcissistic to really pull out the Canadian. But nevertheless, she says, quote, "This professor at U Ottawa appears to be hoping for yet another assassination attempt against Trump and Netanyahu. Is this acceptable behavior from one of your employees?" And she tagged the school. So, given most college policies, they probably will give this person a raise. Now, here's the actual tweet from the person. Definitely not a gentleman by any means necessary, by any means. His name is Amir Ataran. and his hashtag is #ProFamiliarArteron. All right. And he says, quote, "I'd like to see the Secret Service fail again." And looks like he was responding to an article saying Trump announced he will meet with Netanyahu on Friday at Mar-a-Lago, New York Times. And here's a picture of him. Yeah. He's wearing a, I don't know, what kind of color is that? It looks like a faded green button-up, long sleeve shirt. And this is his profile on the website. I guess big surprise. It looks like he went to Berkeley and Oxford. Huh. Yeah, Amir Ataran. I mean, that is a silly name, Ataran. Almost as ridiculous as name like Topping. Oh wait, I partially digress. But this actually didn't go as viral as I thought. It got about 89,000 views and 4.7 thousand likes. Perhaps because, maybe we just become so desensitized to seeing this. Should still be concerned. Well, it only got 1 like, but I'm a little biased, so I'll read it. This handsome profile by the name of the Topping Show says, quote, "First people said Simpsons predicted it, maybe South Park next." This little gif of South Park saying, "Blame Canada." Getting 1 like. But I would argue whoever liked that is the OG, or the greatest of all time. The greatest of all time fan. Nevertheless, another friendly reminder to click that like and subscribe button. Paul Suzupa also says, quote, "Canada has an unhinged teachers wishing to harm innocent people. Sad to see how Trump derangement syndrome is international, getting 57 likes. Planet of Memes, although they did not respond in meme form, in fact, they say, quote, "Liberalism is a brain disorder," getting 54 likes. AKA simply says Fire Room, giving 62 likes. Let's see here. Libercat Media TM says, "We got another one." And it's the cartoon meme, really famous, but it's one where the cartoon is looking at 2 buttons and circles to choose one. The first button says the shooting was staged. The second button says, "Damn, the shooter missed." Then you have the famous girl who broke down crying like a child. Mentally, she probably is a child after Trump won his first election. And it's kind of redundant to say a liberal girl with short hair wearing a beanie and glasses. But nevertheless, that little meme got 52 likes. Scroll down more and more. Salty Goat says, "Let's see them do everyone a favor, remove this piece of trash," getting 22 likes. 3-year Letterman says, "I know Lord Maple Leaf." What? 62 likes? That got 62 likes. That must be a pop culture reference I don't get. Lord Maple Leaf. Huh. DVD says this left seems way too comfortable with political violence, getting 48 likes. Well, they've been calling for it for quite some time. Let's see. Allied States of America says, following orders, and it's a picture of Biden with the quote, "It's time to put Trump in a bullseye," which apparently that was a quote that he gave 5 days before the assassination attempt of Trump, that got 5 likes. So it'll be interesting to see if the school actually fires this professor. Or, no, these days, I don't know, maybe they'll give him a raise. But yeah, the Trump derangement syndrome is certainly a cultural global phenomenon. And it is quite concerning to see how common it is for people to actually wish violence on specific people. And culturally, it is fascinating to see when you talk to people on the far left, on the far right, and even just people more on the left and more on the right, not even the extreme ends. A lot of the people that I know who don't like Biden and who are right-leaning, they say they don't really wish violence. They consistently say, well, he should be in a retirement home, he should be enjoying some ice cream, hanging out with his grandkids, even the one that he ignored for years after his son knocked up a adult entertainer. And yet people on the far left are calling for Trump to be hurt physically. They also have been calling him a threat to democracy for almost a decade now. Yeah, I don't know what, culturally speaking, is going to bring us together. It used to be sports balls, the foundation of our country, Americana, patriotism. But it seems like the past, 20, 15 years, 10 years especially, we just become more bifurcated, and hopefully some cultural phenomenon or some cultural movement can bring us all together. But I'm a little skeptical to say the least. But let me know in the comments, are you surprised this professor espouses these types of ideals? Have you seen it in your own workplace or anecdotally in your social media network? Let me know in the comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Now, going over to the political part podcast, you have Kamala being the most liberal senator. Well, that record is being erased. Yet another reference to 1984, the most brilliant book of all time by George Orwell. And it is a sad book, unfortunately, about a dystopian future. Supposed to be science fiction. Unfortunately, it's become more and more of a reality. Now, this has come to us thanks to End Wokeness, which he says, quote, "Breaking, GovTrack just deleted their 2019 page that ranked Kamala Harris as the most liberal of all 100 senators. It would be a shame if we made this go viral." And there you have a little picture of her And this, I'll actually pull up the actual, see how much we can increase that. And this is from, GovTrack. They say, quote, these 3-year statistics over Kamala Harris record from 2019 legislative year, and that was January 3, 2019, December 31st, 2019, and compare her to other senators serving at that end of that period, last updated January 18th, 2020. Ranked most liberal compared to all senators. Wow. They say our unique ideology analysis assigns a score to members of Congress according to their legislative behavior by how similar the pattern of bill and resolutions they co-sponsor are to other members of Congress. So the good and bad thing about the internet is that it is always permanent. Well, except if you're hosting videos on YouTube, then they kind of just mysteriously just go away. Yeah. Yet another reason to check out this show on major streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcast, and the big awesome green one that apparently, if you say it like Boogeyman, they'll just blacklist your videos, which, statistically speaking, I don't think my videos on YouTube could get negative views. I don't think that'd be possible, but it is statistically nearly impossible for them to get 0 views, which a couple of videos have. And granted, I don't have millions of subscribers, but I do have a couple thousand, so not sure how that happens. Now, again, thankfully it is permanent, so we have this 2019 record card. But yeah, so it looks like now they're trying to rewrite history. And again, this went viral. Got 5.6 million views and 112,000 likes. Because again, they're trying to reshape Kamala to make her appear to be more of a moderate candidate. Because again, you want it. That's how you win the race: is gathering as many votes as possible and getting the biggest pool, or just battle harvesting. You know, a little column A, a little column B, maybe. Now, one of the top comments. Let's see here. Oh, and Wokus also added the active link for the full record. Thanks to web.archive.org. Yeah. That kind of dives into the deep thing. That got 6.1 thousand likes. One of the first comments comes from Gunther Eagleman saying, quote, the media cover-up is in full effect, getting 1.9 thousand likes. Colin Rugg says, Operation Propaganda in full effect, getting 1.5 thousand likes. Let's see. Paul Zupa says GovTrack is bought and paid for, getting 388 likes. Which, yeah, it's one of those things where, I mean, why would you go back and change this? Of course, from years ago. I mean, I can only assume they're trying to literally rewrite history to make her look as a more attractive candidate, which is quite a tall order to say the least. Sassfast84 says, an assassination attempt, a coup, and a cover-up. Did not see this on my bingo card for the month of July, getting 749 likes. Paul Zupa says, in 2020, Kamala got a little more conservative, and she went from being, what was it? She dropped down to 99, instead of being 100. That got 182 likes. X Van Fleet says she is more than a liberal. She is a Kamala communist. That's good. That's good word phrase. I give him a like. It's 448 likes. Which X Van Fleet, I follow him. He actually escaped communist China. Will Tanner says, quote, we aim to inform the voters by hiding critical info from them. Getting 300 likes. Right Away Press says everyone is beginning to cover for Kamala Harris. The media is trying to rig the election in her favor, getting 492 likes. Wall Street Silver says Kamala Harris is even more far left than Bernie Sanders, getting 933 likes, which, yeah, spoiler alert, we're going to cover that later in the show. Yeah, she is, and the videos, thankfully, are trending, so hopefully more Americans actually see them. That's also concerning some mentally vacuous people who consider themselves American would vote for someone knowing that they're a communist. Alex says, thank God for X, getting 551 likes. Joey Mariano says, they're all in the tank for her now. Wow, getting 562 likes. Valentina Gomez says, the cover-up has begun, but the internet is forever. Kamala is a liberal cancer to America, getting 282 likes. Let's see here. So, well, this one's a little long, but it got 700 likes, so I'll read it. This is from Merch saying she's an insider. Kamala Harris should be impeached as well. She will destroy America. And it says, quote, and once Trump's gone and we have retained our rightful place in the White House, look out if you support him and endorse his actions because we will be coming for you next. You will feel the vengeance of a nation. No stone will be left unturned. As we seek you out in the great nation, for it is you that betrayed us. Apparently, that is allegedly a quote from Kamala Harris, June 18th, 2020. They actually added the text, yes, she really said this. Getting 734 likes. Fascinatingly enough, one of the recent videos that just mysteriously vanished off my YouTube channel was one where I was critiquing Kamala. The other times, well, I'm gonna say go to Rumble, you'll be able. Oh, I said it. Well, guess the video is gonna be blacklisted. Maybe. Let's test out that theory. Nevertheless, got 734 likes. See here, any contrarian statements. And I'll start reporting and following Kamala's specific X handle or X Twitter handle. That way we see some. Because again, there are a lot. I was gonna say there's a lot of people. There's at least 18 people who will vote for Kamala. They think she's a generally good candidate. I think, like most politics, there'll be people who vote for her just because she's Democrat, and there'll be some people who vote for Trump just because he's Republican. Here. Oh, this is the best meme thus far. Liberty Field Memes also says rare image of the border czar visiting the border, and it's Kamala Harris, or it's a famous picture of the Secret Service, all covering Trump to protect him when he's being shot. And they have that one large gal standing or squatting behind them in fear. They have her named Kamala Harris, and then that Trump is called the Southern Border. They got 29 likes. So yeah, they're trying to make her the most popular candidate since sliced bread, which I wonder what it was like when that was first invented, how excited everyone was to get their bread pre-sliced. Personally, I think it's overrated. Everyone has a knife. Why can't you just cut your own bread? But let me know in the comments. Do you think, will this trend even more so everyone sees her past record? More left than Bernie Sanders is saying something. There's a reason they, interestingly enough, when Bernie was running, the Democratic Party rigged it against him. When the people voted for him, they said, no, we know more. We won't give the people what they want. We know better, which doesn't seem ethical to me. I don't know why people would keep believing that party, but nevertheless, let me in the comments. As always, I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Other interesting political news, you have the media claiming that Trump was actually never shot. Yet again, another example of don't believe your lying eyes. Now, this was actually first brought to us thanks to Newsweek, which, interesting profile. I'll give him a follow, why not? Again, gather as much data as possible and get an informed opinion. Don't want to live in a silo. Although it would be kind of cool for security's sake to live in an old missile silo. But I partially digress with my ADHD. This comes from Newsweek, and they say, quote, Donald Trump may not have been shot at all. And there's a picture of him famously bloodied from the shot with his arm up in defiance, with all the good Secret Service gentlemen covering him up and the one gal not quite being tall enough. I was going to say, if you look at the picture, yeah, there's your problem. That's a big gap right there. But nevertheless, this is one of those viral things Newsweek has ever said. It got 6.6 million views and 2.2 thousand likes. I'm not sure who liked it, but apparently 2.2 thousand people did. Now, this is also coming from Newsweek. They continue saying, pull up, I can read it a little bit better. They say, quote, FBI Director Christopher Wray said on Wednesday that it was not clear whether former President Donald Trump was shot or hit by shrapnel when a gunman opened fire at his rally in Butler, Pennsylvania earlier this month. A week after the shooting, the Trump campaign released a doctor's note from Representative Tony Jackson, who served the White House, and they stated that he sustained a gunshot wound from the ear. Then they say, well, now, when it's testimony, you might not be sure. Right. Thankfully, the comments, well, they're more accurate. Now, scrolling down to the top comments, as they yet again try to rewrite history, which I'm a little disappointed. I did a GIF of 1984, which everyone should have read by now. Again, shoot, I should probably just put that in the URL of every video description I upload, since I reference it so frequently. But nevertheless, no one like that. Now you have the Hodge twins saying, quote, so what was this? This is why people don't trust the news. And it's a picture of Trump where the bullet is literally going by his head, and they captured that moment right there. So one of the bullets just went right by him. Which, yeah, that's not shrapnel, that's a bullet. Now, that got 4.8 thousand likes, so they ratioed room right off the bat. Good job, Hodge twins. Paul Zazupa says, what's wrong with you, Newsweek? Getting 1.7 thousand likes. There's a TikTok simply says, delete your account, getting 5.4 thousand likes. Benny Johnson also says, there's a photo of it. No one believes the media because all you do is lie, getting 1.3 thousand likes. Cat Turd simply laughy emoji, getting 5,000 likes. The Quartering says, I'm glad you finally just gone mask off, getting 1.7 thousand likes. Are there any contrarian statements thus far? Nate simply says, please sue them. Donald Trump getting 3.1 thousand likes. Scrolling down here. This is a contrarian statement. World Gone Mad says Project 2025 will deport the workers at Newsweek, getting 1.2 thousand likes. In your regard, D. Kowsey says, I'm 684 years old, so I'm old enough to remember when Newsweek was a respectable publication. getting 2.7 thousand likes. Ryan Foreigner says, "You've got to be joking," getting 3.3 thousand likes. AKA says, "He was definitely shot. Y'all are weird," getting 5,000 likes. Sean Fair says, "I never want to hear MAGA pushing conspiracy theories ever again." So is this a contrarian statement, perhaps? Maybe. Getting 5.8 thousand likes. Dr. Simon Goddick says, "A $1 billion lawsuit in the horizon," getting 3.1 thousand likes. Yeah, if they could find Alex Jones for billions of dollars, fascinating how he was the only one that was sued to that extent. Let's see. Oh, A+ for this reference. Brendan Daly says, "Newsweek gone full Orwell," getting 2.9 thousand likes. Dick's Hammer says, "You're fake news," getting 2.2 thousand likes. Let's see. Dre Marano says, "This is the author of the post, FWIW. Rather than just hit Newsweek, put her name out. She's," I'm going to mispronounce this, not intentionally, Khalida Rahman. And she's based in the UK, not even America. Absolutely abhorrent woman." She got 3.2 thousand likes. Or rather, that post did. Let's see. U.S. Ministry of Truth says, quote, "I, for one, am shocked the pro-Hamas journal would write something so retarded." And yeah, that's her profile on X Twitter. She must have been one of the first users. She actually got the handle for her name as hashtag KHALEDA. Again, if you want to follow me on the X Twitter, I am at The Topping Show. These dang contrarian statements here. Mostly Peaceful Cat says, "TFW, when a magazine that sold for $1 decides to take a defamation liability that it couldn't run into billions." 137 likes with the gif of Alex Jones. So, mostly roast. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how many people actually believe these news networks as they try to put this out. Here's a good one. So, when Jack Bauer After Dark says, is a picture of Ralph from The Simpsons, says, I can't do his voice. "I journalismed today," getting 33 likes, which, in terms of the mainstream media, most people probably respect them just as equally as intelligent as Ralph from The Simpsons. I think the bar really has gone that low. And yeah, I don't think it's a coincidence that Biden just, dropped out from the presidential race a couple, days after Trump was the attempted assassination. I don't think it's a coincidence that the coup happened right then. It was a big distraction. Got a lot of people to start talking about that instead of the Trump assassination attempt. But let me know in the comments, do you think people will fall for this? Because as always, I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Other interesting political news, you have Kamala Communism trending after old speeches of her, well, they start to resurface, of her saying everyone should end up in the same place, which is mentally vacuous as well as morally vacuous, because that's communism, that's evil. And also, never worked, ever, ever, ever. As much as these mentally vacuous people say, "Oh, communism has never truly been tried," which is it's almost hilarious that those are usually college kids, which, again, read one history book. It didn't work for China, didn't work for USSR, didn't work for Cuba. Nope. Now, this was brought to us first thanks to End Wokeness on X Twitter. And she says, quote, "VP Kamala Harris explains her ideology. Everyone ends up in the same place. That's called communism." And it's a little I think it's a compilation of a couple of her speaking points. I usually say, their voices are infinitely better than mine, and they're usually more intelligent than what I have to say, but, well, shoot, I may stumble and, jump over my words from time to time, mispronounce things, and stutter. But man, that might be a good question in the comments. Who's the worst speaker, me or Kamala? I mean, not to be too confident, but I like to think of it a little bit better. But let me know in the comments. Maybe that'll be a fun debate down there.
It has to be.
She's very familiar with that arm movement, going up and down, up and down. And her knees are reinforced. I'm not sure what kind of, maybe she has some prosthetics. The best use case of being able to sleep right at the top, statistically speaking.
It has to be about a goal of saying everybody should end up in the same place. And since we didn't start in the same place, some folks might need more. Equitable distribution.
Giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place.
So there's a big difference between equality and equity. Equality suggests often everybody should get the same thing. Well, that often assumes everybody.
I was thinking it's a chair engineer for Lizzo. It looks, what is it? An air, like it's from like an industrial airplane? It looks like it's, I mean, that is a chair.
They started out in the same place. As opposed to equity, which is everyone should end up in the same place. And if you then understand not everybody started out in the same place, you understand some people need more. So we all end up in the same place, right?
No,
We are
wrong.
proud of the fact that equity is one of our guiding principles. Proud of the fact that we understand equality is important, but not everybody starts out on the same base. We see that people in our country are having an experience that is not equal. So when we talk about the work we are doing here together, it is recognizing that and being guided by this principle.
A little fun ADHD fact. Remember when they adjusted the interest rates for people who have low credit, so the people with good credit, when they're buying a house, they actually pay for the people with bad credit? That's a thing that happened in America.
Principle of what we must do in the spirit and in the interest of equity. To put equity firmly at the center of our economic policy. But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit Black children, Black families, Black homeowners.
Considering that only they are low income, what is she implying there? Of course, this thankfully went real viral. Got 1.4 million views and 44,000 likes. One of the first comments comes from Planet of Memes, which responded with a book. Not a meme, but nevertheless, they have a book that says, well, that did not work. Abbreviated history of communism, getting 460 likes. Heather Eagleman says, quote, DEI Harris is a dangerous commie, getting 329 likes. Paul Zupa says, Kamala is a communist, getting 53 likes. X Van Fleet says, commie is a communist. X Van Fleet, communism survivor, getting 478 likes. Scrolling down more and more. You have Jay Han says, she will make the worst deals possible on the world stage. She is completely out of her league, getting 731 likes. Bruce Ballow says, you're right, it's called communism. What a dope, getting 495 likes. Junita Broderick says, and she knows it, getting 604 likes. These are contrarian statements here. Again, there are some mentally vacuous people who don't do modicum of research or read history books. Actually think communism is good. Robert Sphere says, Obama is speaking through her. Afrocentric communism? Same word for me. RIP USA, getting 196 likes. May says she is as radical as they get, very dangerous that she is this close to presidency, and the way she got this close is without votes because Americans don't want this. Getting 549 likes. Yeah. Scrolling down. America Papa Bear says Karl Marx will be proud of her, getting 99 likes. Kathleen Kyle says, how about politicians give up their assets first, getting 88 likes. Let's see. Match has a Crowder changed my mind meme, although Crowder has now been changed into Joe Biden. It says, Democrats would convict Trump of trying to make America great again if they could. Change my mind. They got 41 likes. Gideon6 says, they are not even trying to hide it anymore. The frightening thing is that at least 20-30% of the population wants this. Getting 77 likes. Yeah, that Campbell thinks is the reason why public school test scores are at an all-time low. Yeah. And yet they think they deserve more money. It'd be probably good if they taught things like the history of communism, how it doesn't work, the things their founding fathers believed in that made our country one of the biggest countries of all history of all the planet. But yeah, another good point. The silent majority says she's a diehard socialist and says selected, not elected, never won a primary, getting 76 likes, which not even she was in California. She couldn't even win there. Getting 77 likes. Hopefully this trends more and more. And again, these videos are, repeatedly going viral. They keep coming up. Interesting campaign has a picture of a hyena, says Harris 2024. Resemblance is uncanny, getting 15 likes. So as the focus of politics goes more and more onto Kamala, it'll be interesting. Will people wake up to the fact of her vast, experience and track record of ineptitudes? Will they realize, oh dear God, equity is morally vacuous, also mentally vacuous, and would never actually work? It's never worked every time it's been tried. And truth be told, that's also when the worst things in history happen, is when governments lean into that and become that. So hopefully people are waking up to the fact of what she stands for, and they'll be able to vote appropriately. Or who knows, maybe she'll be pushed out soon and replaced by Gavin Newsom, or shoot, who knows? There's a lot of speculation. But let me know in the comments. As always, be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Now, going over to the business blunder of the day, you have CrowdStrike getting a little backlash after they were giving $10 Uber Eats vouchers for causing one of the largest IT outages in history. Not a great look. That was first brought to us thanks to BBC. They say, quote, CrowdStrike backlash over $8 apology voucher. Now, keep in mind, the average CrowdStrike purchase, I mean, it's a business software. So, in full transparency, my company, or my tech company, does resell and install and, actually optimize solutions like CrowdStrike. And yeah, CrowdStrike, the company, they make a pretty penny. I mean, solutions aren't just, a couple of bucks. They're hundreds of, a lot of these companies are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars for a 1-year subscription to it, if not more, depending on what package they get. Now, let's see here. They say, quote, CrowdStrike is facing fresh backlash after giving staff and firms they work with a $10 Uber Eats voucher to say sorry. And they say this actually, they noted that outage affected 8.5 million computers worldwide. And in an email, they said to its partners that recognized the incident had caused extra work, which, yeah, my team was up before 3 a.m. working on that when that happened. They say, to express our gratitude, your next cup of coffee or latte late night snack is on us, CrowdStrike, right? Directing people to use a code to access the $10 credit. The gesture was greeted by derision by some. One Reddit user branded it as, quote, absolute clown show, while another said, I literally wanted to drive my car off a bridge this weekend and they bought me coffee. Nice. Yeah, one LinkedIn user claiming that to be a CrowdStrike partner said, the gesture of a cup of coffee or Uber Eats credit as an apology doesn't seem to make up for the tens of thousands of man hours and customer trust due to the July 19 incident. Which, interestingly enough, they say one LinkedIn user. I wonder if they actually linked to that person's profile. Probably not, because they'd be scared about losing their partnership status. No, they did. Wow. I'm surprised. Yeah, it looks like he's works at a company called IT Vortex, which, yeah, kind of cool name. CrowdStrike also says Uber flagged it. Oh, wow, no way. That's even more worse. So they say, but some people who said they received the voucher also took social media saying it didn't work because CrowdStrike admitted, quote, Uber flagged it as fraud because of the high usage rates. No, really? That's even worse than before. I didn't think they'd be that bad. I mean, I assumed Uber would be a client of theirs and they would have a coordinated effort to say, hey, you're having an unprecedented amount of people downloading and using these codes because we made a huge mistake. I mean, this mistake is estimated to cost Fortune 500 companies, was it $5.4 billion in lost revenue. That's also not taking into account brand damage, so that's even worse. And again, they are stuck in between a rock and a hard place. They have, they're all human, allegedly. Maybe there's some AI workers there, who knows? But in all seriousness, I mean, they have resource allocation issues. They can't have George go to every account, and apologize. George Kurtz being the co-founder and CEO of the company. But I mean, in terms of what they could have done, I mean, 80-20 principle rule. It's a rule that's applied to pretty much every situation. 80% of your sales come from 20% of your customers. So I would, if I were this, I mean, again, maybe they're doing this now. Who knows? By tons of videos uploaded, rendered. Maybe they changed their policy of how to handle the situation. It's a very fluid situation. But yeah, I would have taken whatever George's calendar was, just delete every appointment George had for the next couple of weeks and get in front of physically and if possible, and virtually, physically even better, of every one of those clients and profusely apologize, give them a roadmap of policies and procedures, what happened, as well as a roadmap of saying this will never happen again because of here. And this is why we appreciate your business, yada. Because again, I think maybe a little old-fashioned, but I'm still someone who actually sends physical, handwritten cards or hand-typed cards and a good old-fashioned vintage typewriter. Good old Royale KMM 1938 manufactured. I love that little thing. But I think in personal touch, to me, old soul, I think that does go a long way. And granted, they have a lot of customers. They have over, 25 million over the planet. I mean, they're one of the largest providers of cybersecurity on the planet. I know this is a tall order, but yeah, to have that personal touch for those 20% of your customer base, I think that would have meant a lot to those clients. And again, there's a lot of customers who are forgiving. Not every customer is necessarily canceling their subscription renewal right now, but it is one of the biggest issues ever. And just to send someone a $10 gift card, remember, companies are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on the software. Like the smallest package, anecdotally speaking, I think one of the smallest packages was $20,000 to $30,000. Granted, that's not all profit; that's revenue. But still, this is not a cheap product. It's known for being a premium price product. So, and some companies are literally spending $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 or more for 1 year subscription to this. It's expensive. Their cybersecurity is great. That's why I'm proud to be a CrowdStrike partner. They have a great cybersecurity solution. They have great people who work there. But it's one of those things for a $10 gift card, I would not have done that. I mean, it's one of those things where very similar to giving gifts, which again, on a corporate status, you're only, in many instances, it's only appropriate to give up to $25. It's one of those things where it's almost inappropriate if someone gives you $1 million purchase order. It's almost, many people think, as an example, use case, you wouldn't give them a $25 gift card because it's so little in comparison. It's nothing. What many people would often do is, handwritten card, maybe take them out to a nice lunch, and just, thank them. It's one of those things where there's such a big discrepancy, like $10 versus, I think that was also just adding insult to injury. So that's just, that's just not looks good. I'm sure some people did appreciate it, but on average, I think there was more of a backlash from this attempted way to resolve the sentiment of the situation. So CrowdStrike giving those $10 Uber Eats gift cards, vouchers, which also didn't work sometimes, that is certainly the business blunder of the day. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. And again, don't forget to take the time to like, subscribe, and comment. Great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.